Bengals fans, you're in the right place if you're looking for free videos around your favorite team. If you're also trying to stay up to date on the latest news and rumors going on around the Cincinnati Bengals, what I want you to do before I get into today's show, it takes literally a second and a half. Look underneath the video and click that big red button that says subscribe. That way, you don't miss anything because we're going to have a fun season this entire year. What's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to walk you guys through the latest rumors and news around the Cincinnati Bengals. We all know one of the biggest issues this entire offseason has been around helping Joe Burrow stay healthy and protected. And I'll tell you what, there's a pretty interesting story around Austin Reiter, free agent center. So the latest report is that the Bengals are planning to host Reiter for a visit. They also are trying to look for a little bit extra depth there on that line. He has spent his last 3 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, winning a Super Bowl, having some playoff experience as well. His first 2 years in the NFL were with the Cleveland Browns. But when you really think about what this offensive line needs and what it takes to keep this team rocking and rolling, it's keeping Joe Burrow upright. And in terms of Reiter, what is he good at? He is a good pass-blocking center. He does struggle against the run. I'd say he's probably below average against the run, but he is probably above average against the pass. 6'3", 300 pounds, 29 years old. Last season, was able to play in 14 games for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it didn't allow a single sack. Now, I don't always say PFF is the end-all, be-all, but I do like that their offensive line grades help out a lot of people. So snaps, 867 snaps for Reiter last season. An overall grade of 70.9. 70.9 is a little bit of an above average overall grade. Pass blocking at 78.3. That's what you like to see. It's probably, again, above average. Run blocking, I'd say at 63.6 is average, maybe a little bit below average overall. But that was his 2020 PFF grades. But what about 2019? What about 2018? Overall, 2018 was a pretty good year. Now, he didn't play nearly the amount of snaps that he played in 2019 and 2020. So if you really want to look at some of his film and potentially what type of player the Bengals could get, I would say sit here and look at 2020, 2019. But as you guys can see, he's always been a better pass blocking center than he has been against the run. Now, in terms of games and starts, I do think that games matter because anytime you're talking about offensive line play, the more starts you can get, the better. Over the last 2 seasons, you're talking about a 28 combined starts for the Kansas City Chiefs. Did only start in 4 games in 2018, but you're talking about deep playoff runs here. Again, a guy who's got some key playoff experience, which I do think matters for this Bengals team. So should the Bengals go out and sign Reiter? I want you to type S for sign, type P for pass. If you're new to what we do here at Chat Sports, we ask a lot of questions. We're based on being interactive. So every single person that comes across this question right now on this video, go down in the comments section. Let me know. Type S for sign or P for pass. What should the Bengals do with Austin Reiter? The Cincinnati Bengals have obviously been looking to bolster all that offensive line, making a key move here on Thursday, going out signing Lamont Gaillard, who's also a solid center. In terms of overall what he's going to be able to bring, I personally think he's more of a depth player. Reiter is the better center, no doubt about it. 2020, though, he was able to play in 5 games. No sacks allowed, a younger player out of Georgia at the age of 25. But we're talking about Gaillard. We're also talking about Reiter. There was also in that report about him, it was simply like this Bengals team could also be going out and looking at 2 other offensive line visiting. They didn't mention who those guys were, so what I tried to do here on today's show is break down maybe some potential free agent offensive linemen out there. I'm going to give you my top 5 guys still available to be signed. You got Rick Wagner, who played with the Green Bay Packers last season. Russell Okung, who suited up as offensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers. David DeCastro, he was recently just released by Pittsburgh. I think that he actually might retire, but it's still an option. Mitchell Schwartz, teammates with Reiter, played offensive tackle, but he's got a back injury to keep in mind. And then Nick Easton. So what do y'all think here? Should the Bengals go out and sign another offensive lineman? Yes or no? It's a pretty simple question. It's been probably one of their biggest focuses since drafting Burrow #1 overall in the 2020 NFL Draft. So Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say yes. You go out, and if you can upgrade your offensive line at all, you go ahead and do so. And no disrespect to the players that they already have. I know that some of you guys like the mood of Reef. I know that some of you guys are confident in Jordan Spain, but this is still not an offensive line that I am 100% confident in. So you got to protect Joe Burrow at all costs, coming off a pretty wicked ACL tear, which was sustained in Week 11. He seems ready to go, but the better offensive line you had, the better this Bengals team is going to operate.